Sora's work-from-home strategies. Grab bag incoming! Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, almost all ongoing dev on Smash Bros. Ultimate was switched to remote. Today, I'd like to talk about how that went. Making that transition with a project as secretive as Smash Bros. Ultimate was really tough to pull off. Still, it was a necessary measure, so we jumped on it quickly in April of 2020. A little after we started working remotely, I sent out a survey to everyone on the team and asked for their thoughts on how it was going. The lack of commute, better room temperature, and eating habits, no waiting for the restroom, these were all big positives. However, many of them ended up raising the same issues in their responses. No access to a desk and chair. Some team members were sitting on the floor and using their PCs at low tables. Lack of a reference monitor. In other words, they didn't have a standard TV for reference use. I realized we'd need to provide them one with adequate capabilities. Slow or unreliable internet. Some team members lived in apartments with slow connections, while others reported that the encryption we used was slowing everything down. Inability to playtest. The playtesting team in particular had a hard time as they were unable to test battles in person. My daily lunchtime test matches also had to be moved online. Not enough social contact. This one was hard to avoid, yeah, and so on. This was our first attempt at something like this, so we had many issues crop up. These issues were wide-ranging, but a good few of them could be solved by purchasing the necessary equipment and supplies. The lack of a proper desk and chair especially would surely cause some health problems. So, I carved out a special supplementary budget through my company Sora Limited to help people who are working from home. Any member of the Smash Bros. Ultimate team could request what they needed for remote work and we'd buy it. No returns necessary, it was theirs to keep. All they had to do was send us the product page from a store like Amazon, and we'd order it ourselves and have it delivered to their address. That included desks, chairs, monitors, monitor arms, room dividers, webcams, headsets, HDMI and other switches, side tables, soundproof mats, and more. We bought and distributed it all. Smash Bros. Ultimate was developed with Bandai Namco Studios, as well as a mix of other hired developers and temporary staff. Technically, I was temporary too, since I was contracted through Sora. When working remotely, it becomes harder to track what's yours and what's the company's. And if each company did their own purchases, all the procedures, applications, and approvals would be sure to eat up time. To solve the problem as quickly as possible, I had Sora foot the bill for everyone. I think the idea worked out great. Everyone was happy in the end. As it happened, the pandemic didn't end, so we continued working remotely straight to the end of Smash Bros. Ultimate's development. It was a totally new experience, but one I'm sure will have a big influence on how we work on future projects. Game dev delays due to the pandemic are a very real occurrence. Luckily, we were already working on Smash Bros. Ultimate's DLC at that point, or else we would have really struggled. All kinds of problems arose from the switch to remote work. This is just my impression as a director, but I'd say our productivity was reduced by about 30%. But just like with every situation, you need to be as flexible as you can and ready to find a new way forward. Stage clear.